Introduction and Preface of Life in Mexico. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Life in Mexico by Francis Calderón de la Barca. Introduction by Manuel Romero de Terreros, Marqués de San Francisco. Every man I will go with thee, and be thy guide, to thy most need to go by thy side. Francis Calderón de la Barca, born in Edinburgh, 1804, the daughter of William Inglis. After her father's death she settled in America, where she married the Spanish diplomat, Don Angel Calderón de la Barca. She accompanied him on his various appointments to Mexico, Washington, and finally to Madrid, where she was created Marquesa de Calderon de la Barca by Alfonso XII, and died in 1882. In the year 1843 two new books took the American public by storm. One was Prescott's History of the Conquest of Mexico, and the other Life in Mexico by Madame Calderón de la Barca. William Hickling Prescott was already known as an able historian on account of his scholarly Reign of Ferdinand and Isabella of Spain, which had appeared 4 years before, and elicited praise from all quarters, but his new work outran the former in that the author had succeeded in depicting one of the most stirring episodes of history, with the grandeur of an epic and the interest of a novel. It was therefore natural that a book with Prescott's endorsement should be favorably received by the general public, but Life in Mexico immediately attained wide circulation on its own merits, and was received with unbounded enthusiasm. Soon the slight veil that pretended to hide the author's name was drawn aside, and Madame Calderón de la Barca became famous in literary and social circles. Frances Erskine Inglis was born in Edinburgh in the year 1804. Her father, William Inglis, belonged to a distinguished Scottish family, related to the Earls of Buchan, and was a grandson of a gallant Colonel Gardiner, who fell in the battle of Prestonpans, while her mother, a Miss Stern, before her marriage, was a celebrated beauty of her time. Fanny, as Frances was familiarly called, was still very young when her father found himself in financial difficulties, and decided to retire with his family to Normandy, where living was supposed to be cheaper. But William Inglis died a few years later, and his widow determined to settle in America. In the United States, Mrs. Inglis established a private school, first in Boston, later in Staten Island, and finally in Baltimore, and her daughter was a great help, for she immediately revealed herself as an excellent teacher. Besides, Fanny became
Sample complete. Ready to continue?